Our English word, discernment, like so many of our words, comes from Latin, kernel, C-E-R-N-O. I see or I perceive. So another word for discernment would be insight. Those of us who have our physical sight to be thankful for sometimes have superficial views of the world around us, and we need to cultivate insight. There is so much that is superficial about modern life, superficial views of politics, of economics, of society, superficial views of people, superficial understandings of the truths of God, superficial ways of living, superficial entertainment. The wisdom literature of the Old Testament invites us to see into life more deeply, to cultivate insight, discernment, to see behind appearances to the deeper truths of life and death, of good and evil, to see behind the behavior of those around us, and insight to see into our own behavior and to see the deep motives in our hearts. Proverbs 20, verse 5, the purposes of the human mind are like deep water, but the understanding, the intelligence, will draw them out. And a few verses later, this question, who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from sin? If it's difficult to have insight into the motives of others, how much more difficult is discernment when it comes to our own motives? Our sinful condition means that we are prone to self-deception. And yet, the wisdom Psalms see purity of heart as God's requirement. Psalm 24, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord, and who shall stand in his holy place? Those who have clean hands and a pure heart. Is that possible? Is it possible in this life to have a pure heart? Jesus surely gives us the answer in the Beatitudes. He speaks in the Beatitudes of the pure in heart as a group of people who exist just like the poor in spirit, the peacemakers, the meek. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. There is that link between purity of heart and discernment, insight. Augustine interpreted that as the beatific vision of God we shall all have in the life to come. But I wonder whether Jesus did not have in mind that insight, that discernment, which the pure of heart have in this life. These are the people who are not taken in by superficial appearances, the people who see through outward circumstances, who can read character, who can see through falsity and pretense, the wise, those who are not taken in by superficial disguises that people wear. The people who have recognized their own deviousness, their own inability to cleanse their own hearts, but who are trusting God to purify their hearts from all self-display and from selfish motives. The people who have no illusions about themselves, but who trust in the work of the Holy Spirit in their inner thought life to purify them day by day and moment by moment. These are the people with insight, discernment to see through the superficiality of modern life. Walter Chalmers Smith was a Victorian hymn writer. He was a minister of the Free Church of Scotland, so he was not a Wesleyan, he was in the Calvinist tradition. But in one of his greatest hymns, he expresses what is surely the prayer of every Christian heart, for purity of heart, bringing new insight, new wisdom, new deep understanding of life and death, of sin and salvation, of humanity and God. Here are the verses Chalmers Smith wrote. They're a prayer. One thing I of the Lord desire, for all my way hath miry been, be it by water or by fire, oh, make me clean. If clearer vision thou impart, grateful and glad my soul shall be. But yet, to have a purer heart means more to me. Yea, only as the heart is clean may larger vision yet be mine. For mirrored in its depths are seen the things divine. I watch to shun the miry way and staunch the flow of guilty thought, but watch and wrestle as I may, pure I am not. So wash thou me, without, within, or purge with fire, if that must be. No matter how, if only sin die out in me. That is a prayer we believe God will answer. Discernment, insight. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.